Hello and welcome to yet another exciting edition of Trendz Travel. As always, I'm your host, Eloise Scoble. Now, with it still being the month of love, Peleng takes us to Sardinia Bay in Port Elizabeth to a very private beach where you can go and have some lovely events and watch the sunset on the beach. There's also, of course, some romantic horse riding.
With sand dunes as beautiful as this, there's really no limit to what you can do to achieve that epic beach experience. For the lovers, the sunsets here will leave you breathless. For the laid-back experience, there's horseback riding, an all-in-one experience for those who like to take in the sound of the waves while on a horse's back.
Tell me what this kind of activity is like. Where do you enter the water fly?
We go out basically every day, so it's like on the boat, and we do get called beginner riders to experienced riders, so anyone can have the opportunity of riding a horse.
Yeah. What's different from riding a horse anywhere else from riding point of view?
It's the most awesome experience to be on the actually just the actual feed of it's just a fantastic feed. Sometimes we walk, sometimes we This is trimming, and I'll call him Mr. T. Yeah. It's a new boy that I've recently bought, and I'm very thrilled about 9 months. So we're bonding and training at the moment, and looking forward to that first show coming up.
Oh, what kind of show is it?
It's showing, we're already showing at Bathurst, and that will be from the 2nd of April until the 5th of April.
Okay. If you horse racing in these two
They're all different breeds. They're all of the color breeds that come from the track. Especially for the Frisian and I for a blue blonde cross and the Arab. So these are different breeds of horses.
And with sand dunes as high as these, you have plenty of room to do sandboarding, a playful but thrilling beach activity that can be enjoyed by everyone.
The cute twins are singing about love that is not going right. They're telling the one they love that he must leave, but stress that once he has, he will remember them. It's a song that's made them really popular since exiting the Idols singing competition in the top 10 in late 2019. Performing at Lovers and Friends, Vici and Virginia Kwabe say they really love love.
Performance ibithola abantu abawuthandayo umculo futhi basebathandweni vele definitely besithi sokuthengela ama gift vele bazobalala. So we loved our performance very much. Bimnandi kakhulu and really enjoyed it. Yeah.
This year's Lovers and Friends Festival was highlighting issues of gender-based violence. As you can hear, fans making a lot of noise. It's one of Selena Johnson's biggest hits. She's decided to spend the month of love here in South Africa. She's in Durban at the Lovers and Friends Festival, and she's doing some hits that she has made big, but she's also gone back to the 1970s, doing some hits that are made popular by other musicians, bringing it back to the 2000s.
Stay away if you got games and tricks for me.
While American songstress Selena Johnson is upbeat in a lot of her songs, she also sings about abusive relationships.
I hope that they never see the way you hit on me. And I'd rather die before I let my kids see it. The way you hit on me, the way you hit on me.
Organizers say because of the scourge, it was important to pick this theme this year.
Our theme for this year is love against GBV, gender-based violence. So to us, this Valentine's means just that. We want to love more, we want to be kinder more, we want to love our women more, we want to do what our great fathers would be proud of us when they see us in the future. So yeah.
From Utugela in the KwaZulu-Natal Midlands, Simi came with her stories of confusing love. Umahlalela speaks of a man who doesn't like working, while the lady in his life provides all the necessities. Just about all of Simi's songs from her Tugela Ferry album are massive hits. The Polytones have been writing and singing about love, its beauty and complexities for a long time now. Lead singer Khan says in real life he is currently enjoying the love that he has with his wife and the love they get from their children.
I've got 3 kids now, so what tends to happen is they all go to nursery school and they all make stuff for their mom.
Those in attendance say they enjoyed every bit of the Lovers and Friends acts that they got to hear.
Yeah, so far so good. I think it's a nice chill vibe, especially after the whole Valentine's Day.
It's lovely. She's my favorite act.
Why did you decide to come here?
Because I'm a freelance lover.
Been here since around 7 and I'm waiting on Simi, Sarah and Polytones.
Alright, so I found a young one here. He's not asleep. So, how are you finding the show and who's your favorite musician?
I found the show very entertaining and my favorite musician is Selena Jones.
Alright, who knew? Selena Johnson also resurrected the young ones.
It certainly was a lovely outing for all the lovers and friends that came to the event.
What are your hashtag body goals, and have you kept to your New Year's resolutions of keeping fit? If you have, let us know on Instagram or on Twitter. That's on Trendz on SABC using the hashtag SABC News.
Entrepreneurship is our business.
First month I made 100,000. I came up with specials, ideas. I'm like, I'm gonna make money. I'm gonna make a hell lot of money here.
Intentionally supporting your journey.
I mean, it's billions of money that are saved through stock for us. But this time around, we want to take those billions to build an economy.
Giving exposure to simple yet unconventional ideas.
We formulated this product for me and my brother for our peers to look the best version of themselves.
Helping to develop and sustain a thriving SME sector. This is our end goal.
I say I assist entrepreneurs to buy back their time and their sanity.
You get to network with like-minded entrepreneurs.
And our motivational quote for this week is from an unknown source, and it reads, "If you don't have big dreams and goals, you'll end up working for someone else that does."
This is SME On Point, and I'm Diabo Seto.
Welcome back to Trendz Travel. Now we know for sure that holidays can be categorized into the following. You can have a leisure holiday, an adventure holiday, a cultural holiday, and even a historical holiday. Now Puleng takes us to PE where we visit an aircraft museum and hear the story behind each retired aircraft.
The South African Air Force Museum in Port Elizabeth is more than an exhibition of military aircraft. It is a celebration of the roles that so many South Africans played in shaping the world history.
Why do we have to have a museum such as this one?
We've got to keep our Air Force's heritage alive. If we don't keep it alive, I believe personally, if you don't know where you've come from, you don't know where you're going. So we've got to keep our roots alive, and roots keep a tree standing, and all of the different cliches that go with that. But we need to teach our children the value of military aviation so that we can employ them when they're older. And right over here we've got an Alouette 3 helicopter, used for a number of years, in fact almost 3 decades in the South African Air Force, used mostly for rescue work and command and control work. But here you'll see this one is fitted out with as a gunship, which was used up in the conflicts up in Namibia and Angola. Yes, and that's what it is. Yeah, it's been used as an ambulance before as well, where we rescue people. So it has a diversity of roles that it can play.
Okay, I see there's like big bold number 632. What are those numbers for?
That's the registration number.
Oh.
Every aircraft has a number,
Yeah.
and this one is number 632. And so often we'll have people come in here who were pilots and say, "Oh, but I flew this aircraft," So.
Yes, each aircraft in here used to fly.
Yes.
They're not just put here or just replicas of the.
They were all flying aircraft, yes.
Real ones. But this one is a bit tiny.
Yes.
Only one person, this guy over here, can
Yes.
fit in there. When you go to war with a machine like this,
Yes.
how do you get your weapons and everything in order? It looks very small.
Well, yes, sometimes they look smaller than what they appear to be in real life, and then sometimes it's the opposite, they're a lot bigger. In this case, it's fairly small. This was a very capable aircraft in its time, the Impala Mark II, and all its weapons were stored under the wings on pylons, so they hung there. And then in the nose were 2 30mm machine guns on each side, one on each side. So it packed quite a punch for a small aircraft.
Why do we have to have an Air Force museum specifically in Port Elizabeth?
Well, as it turns out, Port Elizabeth played a very big role in aviation history in South Africa. The very first high-speed, long-distance flight ended in Port Elizabeth with, at the time, Major Alistair Miller in 1917 already. That in the background, you'll see that display over there.
The bust?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And Major Alistair Miller then went on through his career to start off South African Airways. He started Union Airways, which was taken over by the government and became South African Airways. And that was in 1936. And it all happened here in Port Elizabeth. This is called a Vampire.
The Vampire?
Yes.
Okay.
This was the first fighter aircraft that the South African Air Force owned, and they were used in the early 1950s up until well into the 1970s, used as trainer aircraft. And you'll see this aircraft is aluminium and wood.
So it was actually made out of wood?
Well, wood and metal. So it was a composite of both, yes.
Why wood though here?
At the time, that was the design of the aircraft. It was easier to use wood. And also at the end of the war, during the war, a lot of the steel work had been, steel was a rare commodity to build aircraft. And so where you could use wood, wood was used.
And now for a crash course on how to salute.
To salute, it's not just a captain thing, it's every soldier.
Okay.
Saluting in compliments goes back many, many years, and we salute to pay respects to higher ranks and to lower ranks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So can I salute out?
So you technically only supposed to salute when you've got headdress, yes.
Ah.
So your saluting is, if you keep your arms straight, you salute up like this, keeping your wrist and your hand, there we go. Keep your thumb in, and that's how you salute.
Oh,
straight up, straight down.
And then down.
Yes.
So can't I salute my viewers out?
You can if you want.
Oh, thank you so much. The captain said I have a right to salute you, so salute.
Tonight, we're here at the premiere of another exciting South African film, Knuckle City. So follow me as I give you all access to this wonderful premiere. Let's go. 2 years in the making, the coming-of-age feature film, Knuckle City, finally hits cinemas. Written and directed by Jamil Kubega, this is South Africa's first ever boxing film. Set in Mdantsane Township in the Eastern Cape, known to have produced some of the best boxers in the country, it was a no-brainer for Kubeka to tell this story.
Knuckle City is a slice of life, urban, gritty life. I think in terms of Umzansi in South Africa, quite often when we look at the township experience, we kind of look at it with all these socio-political overtones. This is just a slice of how it is, as it is. Why did I use boxing in terms of the film and the story? Well, it's a great metaphor. Boxing is a very elite sport in the sense that it requires a high sense of discipline. Not many human beings can apply themselves and be boxers. And yet, what you tend to find that is quite ironic is that in most situations, you'll find that the fight at home is a way more difficult fight than your opponent in the ring. So for me, it is always that irony, that contradiction. It makes no sense to some degree that one can apply such a high level of discipline in a ring, but then back home, life is a bit of a bigger fight.
Playing the leading man is the award-winning actor Bongile Manzi.
Ndidlala i-character ka Dudu, Knight Rider Nyagama, and he's a boxer, family man, and he's a lead character of the movie. It's a tale about this man called Dudu who is trying to save the family from the situation that they are in. The family is struggling. The structure of the family has fallen apart. And Dudu comes in with the sport that he loves to save his family. And also he has a lot of obstacles within what he's trying to do, which is there's only one way to survive in this movie, and that way is through the ring.
I'm not timing.
Mandela's Long Walk to Freedom, Steve Ungezi, stars as Goatee.
I play a character called Goatee, who's like the baddie but goodie, high energy, high pace. Like he's there for some of the film, but he definitely leaves a mark.
The theme in Knuckle City is the importance of family, with a strong undertone that indicates that a man who neglects his family is not a real man.
We've got so much more of Trendz Travel coming up for you after the break, so don't go anywhere.
I always fly.
On Network, we lead Africa's tech conversation.
There's more disadvantages to controlling social media than there is good.
Social media is used as a powerful tool to get the message across.
We have the Internet of Things, wearable devices, and 5G technology.
We've started a rent renewal program, where in essence is readying the infrastructure for 5G.
I wanted to get a drone license because I've always loved aviation.
Join me, Phumelele Zondi, every Sunday at 8:30 p.m. right here on Network with your technology and social media news.
Every single month, we at Trendz Travel love showing you the trendiest little hotspots as well as the hidden gems found in and around Johannesburg. And this month is no different as we take you to a very pink Miami spot.
Finding hidden gems with exquisite decor in places where you thought no one would find? Well, that's what we do at Trendz Travel. This time around, we took our cameras to a more trendy spot in the heart of Sandton. With its pink flamboyancy, a tropical feel, you'd be forgiven for thinking you are in Miami. Once you start exploring this beautiful space, you'll discover its African feel, distinguished by its amazing bamboo trees, overhead glass installation, and the lovely art portraits on the wall. Still keeping it chic, this restaurant offers a relaxed dining experience.
Hi, Njabulo.
How are you, Tenant?
Good, thanks, and yourself?
Thank you. So, this looks very interesting, very yummy.
Yes, it's delicious. It's one of our hot selling dishes. It's our hot smoked salmon pate, and it's served with a gooseberry jam, beautiful fresh summer fruits, and then caviar and served with our Melba toast on the side. With all those colors of pink on the plate, through the hot smoked salmon, definitely a Valentine's Day meal. And smother your bread with that hot smoked salmon pate. It's delicious.
We also got to try out a special Valentine cocktail.
So today we have a lovely seasonal Valentine's inspired drink called Flowers in Bloom. We're using a jasmine and rose infused gin, a bit of orange liqueur as well, some orange marmalade, a bit of citrus just to balance it out, a bit of bitters, some cranberry juice, top up with some elderflower tonic. There you go.
And this is how I enjoy my Flowers in Bloom cocktail on this wonderful month of love. Cheers.
It's time now to catch up with Nadia in the misty mountains of Mpumalanga, where she takes us on a bit of a leisure and adventure tour.
The Mpumalanga Highveld is one massive man-made forest. With rolling hills and endless greenery, it is a breath of fresh air, literally. We took the scenic panorama route up to Misty Hills right at the top of the mountain.
Okay, well, we've got the Long Tom Toboggan, which is sort of a unique experience, the only one in Africa. It's our little mini roller coaster. It's a 1.7k track that literally flies you down the mountain in all kinds of weather. A lot of fun. We have from ages from 3 all the way up to 80-year-olds do it, so it's very, very popular, one of our attractions.
The weather didn't play ball, however, we are unstoppable. Adrenaline junkies, this one is for you. A rocky and bumpy road on an open track to the top of the hill, mentally preparing yourself for what's to come, cause as the saying goes, what goes up must come down. There's no time left to prepare yourself. You have to jump in and slide off. I said a short prayer. Nah, I'm joking. I prayed the whole time. And no, you don't get used to it. It doesn't get better, but it's so much fun.
Okay, so I'm sitting down because I'm trying to calm myself down. It seemed like it went on forever. My nerves are still short. How about this?
Yeah, I just done the toboggan. It was very nice. I enjoyed it, right? South African tourism, short left, Mpumalanga. So it's
in my opinion, a getaway is not fully achieved without relaxation. After all the adrenaline pumping, it was time to slow things down with some pampering. At Trendz Travel, we work tirelessly, and every once in a while we take a moment to unwind and regroup. After the running around, a spa treat was just what I needed. A tranquil environment with birds chirping, soothing music, and silence. With a pep in my step, I eagerly went in. There's something about massages that makes you feel like royalty. I mean, you just feel like a queen. Someone taking care of your needs and, as in this case, taking away all your stress.
Did you know that the 14th of February this year marks 35 years since Whitney Houston debuted her very first self-titled album? It was also on this album that she recorded The Greatest Love of All. That's a little food for thought, also letting you know that you ought to love yourself. This is Eloise Goebel signing out for Trendz Travel. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place.
Finance Minister speaking last year was quite clear that one, he doesn't